Hey,
Skittles Wiki.
it's Chauncey.
Welcome everybody to Blame It on the Cider, a show where we go over supernatural / creepy / interesting topics while drinking alcoholic cider.
Mm-hmm. The official name now.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. We're not changing it now.
Yeah.
So I'm Plam Comics. Well, that's my pseudonym. And your name?
Okay, I thought you were gonna introduce me.
No.
No. Okay. I'm Zach.
Yep.
I'm your husband.
Yep. Wait, you are?
Future, no.
Don't confuse
Current
them. Yeah,
husband.
don't confuse them. Yeah, we are married.
Mm-hmm.
The cider hasn't kicked in yet, so we are nervous.
Yeah, we should have gone pre-lit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh.
Well, I was thinking before we just jump into it to just to be like, hey, how was your day? To kind of loosen things up.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah,
Well, we kind of just spent the entire day together.
that's true.
We were just doing adult things. Like,
Which sucks.
went to the bank.
And you ironed your shirt.
Ironed my shirt.
I wore jewelry.
Shop for Christmas decorations.
Yep, got some Christmas sweaters.
Probably the best part of the day.
Yeah,
And
probably.
we went to a pub and we only had iced tea.
Yeah.
We just had a lot of food.
Yep. Wow, that was a lot more boring than I thought it would be.
We don't. That's the thing, though. We don't really do anything interesting all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there will be days where we do crazy stuff, like when we went to
Like
Victoria.
Was that crazy though?
Well, for us, like
Oh my god.
an
it was
hour
so
away
long.
from home. Oh shit! But
That was several hours away from home.
yeah.
Oh, there's the cider.
Yeah, there it is. Oh man, it's hard.
I'm sorry, don't mind me. I'm just getting this. What is this?
It's a Portuguese tart.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Peruvian cupcake.
Ooh. So you've been waiting to tell me your story for like weeks now, I think. Like you're so excited about that, so I feel like yours is gonna be a doozy.
It's dark. It's intense.
That's how I like it. So I guess I should just go first, because, you know, better to end on like a high note, I guess.
Well, if you want to end on a high note, it's not gonna be for me, but
Oh.
an intense note.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So my story is kind of the same vein as the first one. It's like a crazy mystery, kind of urban legendy thing. So, yeah, it's probably, I don't know how true these things are, but I just enjoy like reading about ghost stories and
I always
urban
assume they're
legends.
true.
And it is always nice to assume they're true, but at the same time, like, you know, sometimes it's kind of horrific and I get scared and I can't sleep.
No, Zach, they're all true.
So yeah, today, while I was looking for something. Oh, okay. First off, I just want to say it's next to impossible to find something you've never heard of. 'Cause you are so into like podcasts and crazy stories and ghost stories and true crime. So it's like, it's so hard to find something you've never heard of. But maybe in the future I'll just choose one you have heard of, and you know, maybe other people haven't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just for us.
Yeah, but you know, it's always nice to getting like a what the fuck out of me. So I'll do more research next time.
The forbidden episode, that sure got a what the fuck
Oh, yeah.
out of me.
The forbidden episode, which you can hear if you're a patron, by the way.
Well, I need to post it, but
yeah,
I will post it.
yeah, it's
But
one of
only
those
on
things.
Patreon.
Yeah, because it was kind of rough.
It was really rough.
Yeah, that was the first attempt, though. So yeah. So today I'm gonna talk about Robert the Doll.
Okay, I think I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
I'm sure you've heard of it, and it's not like a super crazy story, but I just thought it was really an interesting read. So first off, I really hate dolls. Like,
yeah, me too.
yeah, like any kind of doll, like the more realistic they are, the worse they are. Like,
yeah,
especially if they have like bodily functions.
Oh my god, I had a poo-poo potty.
Yeah, the ones that poop, the ones that eat, the ones that blink. Like,
I had I told you this before, but there was this porcelain doll that my mom got me, and my parents are divorced, so I didn't see my mom a lot. So like, I guess I was too shy to tell her I absolutely hated this doll. I was like terrified of it.
So if she's listening.
Yeah, well, I've already told her now. I told her now.
Yeah.
But it was this little porcelain doll, and it had like the ringlets in its hair.
Oh God.
Blue
when they're
eyes.
porcelain dolls, they're even worse.
And I would always just imagine it blinking. It was on the dresser, like overseeing the whole room, and I was in my bed, and I would just imagine it blinking and staring at me.
Yeah. So I hate that. For people who like dolls, why? Just why? I don't get it. Like, it's just creepy as hell.
I don't want to alienate any listeners, but if you like dolls, you're probably a serial killer.
That's what I was gonna say, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't accuse
I'll go
people.
there. I'll go there.
It's the cider talking.
Yeah, blame it on the cider.
But okay, so Robert the Doll was the story it started around the 1800s. So it's his family. His name is the owner of the doll. Okay. Robert Eugene Otto, or Gene as he was known. Okay. His family moved to a kind of big Victorian house in Florida.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, Florida. 1800s.
1800 house in Florida sounds like the worst combo ever.
Yeah. I don't know how bad Florida was.
Oh, it was worse back then.
Really? It's worse.
Yeah, the Florida was okay, Zach's Filipino, by the way, and I'm Canadian, but I grew up in the States, so I have actually more knowledge of the States than I do of my own country. Anyway, Florida was just a horrible, just swampy marshland where nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it until settlers came in and drained the swamps, and then and that's when people
This was in Key West. I don't know if that's...
I think Key West is now, like, a fancier part of it. I think people like Key West.
Yeah, because...
anyone listening from Florida is going to be like, excuse me?
Florida is so... No, I don't know. Yeah. But, like, it is, like, their house... The house that they moved into is now, like, kind of a tourist attraction, I guess. Or a bed and breakfast. I'm not sure which one. It's called the Artist House.
Probably
now.
A tourist attraction regardless.
Yeah, regardless. So, yeah, they moved into this house in the 1800s, and...
How old was Gene, do you know?
He was a young kid, because he was given the doll, right? He was given Robert a doll. So there are two theories as to where he got the doll. So the first was they theorized that the dad, who was quite wealthy at the time, was a prick to all their servants, right?
Okay.
So
shocker.
Shocker. But like some people theorize that the doll was given to Gene by one of the servants who practiced black magic.
Oh shit.
Okay.
That's not fair to him though. He's just a kid.
Yeah, but it was like a way to get back at the asshole dad. The other theory, which I find a little more plausible but less interesting, was it was given to him by his grandfather. They bought it in Germany. And some people say it was the same company that made the first teddy bears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I feel like that's more plausible just because if they're wealthy and, it's a toy. So, anyway, so yeah, Gene got this cloth doll who was, for some strange reason, the size of a child. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, I know.
Do you remember those Barbies that that were...
Jesus Christ.
Wait, hold on. Intermission. Okay, I'm sorry. I got fucked up already over the fact that he was like a child-sized doll.
Yeah, he's the size of a child, like probably the same size as Otto when he was like a young child.
As a child, I would be like, thanks but no thanks. As an adult, I'd be like, thanks but no thanks.
I know, like there is no way I would want that as a gift. Like I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
So he's the size of a young child, and he's made of cloth. And so when Eugene got this doll, he got very attached to it, to the point that he dressed it up in his old baby clothes. So not really a baby, like toddler, I guess.
Yeah, I get you.
But like he dressed it up as a sailor, and I'm gonna show you a picture.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Eugene used to
Look at the
wear...
dog too. There's like a dog,
Yeah.
like it has a little dog stuffed animal with it.
Yeah, it comes with a little dog stuffed animal.
Ew,
And,
it kind of looks realistic. Like it kind of looks like it could be. Because
Yeah.
it's all old now, but in
Yeah.
its prime, I could see it actually looking like.
Yeah,
a kid.
it's like cloth. It's got a face. It's got beady little button eyes, and like it's wearing a sailor outfit, and yeah, it's the size of a small child. So like already that's like a lot of red flags.
That's a recipe for a nightmare.
I know, it's like the plot of a fucking horror movie.
I'm sure it is probably been made into a horror, or will be.
Or will be. So Eugene was so attached to this doll to the point that he dressed it up in his old clothes, and he made a little room for it up in their attic. Like,
I mean, I can understand that as a kid.
Like,
that makes sense.
as a kid. And he took it everywhere with him. He even went to bed with it, and like when they go out,
favorite toy.
it was like his favorite toy. But soon after, things got a little weird. Like things got a little spooky. Like there are times when Eugene would wake up in the middle of the night, and he would see the doll at the foot of the bed looking at him. And the mother and some of the servants would say that they would hear Gene talking to someone.
Oh my god, why are kids so creepy?
I know, like, that would be one of the worst things if we ever have kids. Like say something really fucking spooky, and I don't know how to respond to that.
You know what I hate about children?
Let me just tell you why I hate children. No.
You know what I freaking hate, though?
Mm-hmm.
When they have tiny, tiny little teeth and they're kind of spread apart.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, and then no shade, I love my little sister, Ava.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was little, she has the biggest mouth.
Oh, God.
And she had, her teeth are fine now. They look fine.
Of
They
course.
look
Well,
perfectly
she just had her
well,
braces,
and she,
so.
She's got her adult teeth in now, but when she was a kid, she had the tiniest little teeth, and they were all spread out.
Oh, yeah, I totally hate that, too.
Oh, my God. Love you, girl.
Yeah. I don't know why that is kind of really freaky.
Oh, it gives me the creeps. Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so they would hear him talking to the doll, and then they would hear responses, like, in a lower voice. Kind of made me think of, like, in The Shining, with, like, the kid and the finger thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was a really weird detail, by the way, the finger thing. But yeah, it was kind of like that. So, and this really freaked out a lot of people, but on one occasion, like, in the middle of the night, they would hear Gene screaming for help, like, and the door's locked, and they'd hear, like, the furniture, like, getting thrown around and stuff. And when they finally got it open, they found him cowering and, like, crying, and all he could say was that Robert did it.
Oh my God, you're giving me the creeps.
I know, it's like, reading about it, I was like, holy shit. Like, at that point, I would just throw the doll away.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, because seriously, it's like a bunch of shit. Like, it's literally a living horror movie at that point. It kind of reminds me of that scene in Eli, too. I remember when he was like,
oh yeah,
like when the dresser kind of fell, and they were just like, why did you do that? Even though a tiny kid couldn't really do that.
Yeah, that was a D+ movie.
Yeah,
was
unfortunately,
disappointing.
it had a really shitty ending.
Yeah, it was just poorly made.
Yeah,
I feel like writing wise.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it started off strong though, especially with like the ghosts appearing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that doll seems pretty fucking haunted.
Yeah.
But so as Gene grew older, you kind of lose interest in your toys. He kind of like left it in the attic, and he went off to art school, actually. So he's an artist.
All right.
And he met a woman, and he got married.
Okay.
And then his father died soon after. And for some strange fucking reason, he decides to move back into that house.
Well, I mean, maybe he inherited it. It's
He probably
nice.
inherited, yeah. And it's a pretty big house based on the picture I saw. Yeah. I mean, if it's used as a bed and breakfast,
yeah,
it's probably pretty big. But yeah, so they moved back in, and it's still really fucking weird because, like, he is still really attached to the doll when he moved back in. Like, to the point that it creeped out his wife. Like,
oh my god.
yeah, like he would still kind of like have it around him and bring it with him sometimes.
It's like me and my baby blanket.
But no one knows about the baby blanket, I think.
I have a baby blanket that's literally, I've just had it since I was a baby, and I still sleep with it at night. At
least the baby blanket doesn't have a face.
Yeah, and I can be without it. And
yeah, I mean, you went with like a whole year without it. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like it. Comforts me.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad thing. Anyway, so...
But this is too far.
I know. But, like, yeah, as a grown man...
It'd be like me taking it to the store grocery shopping with us or something.
Yeah, or if you, like, had a teddy bear with you at all times kind of thing.
Okay.
So his wife was like, okay, this is really weird. I don't like this doll, and it gives me the heebs. So...
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable. I'm like, yeah, that's not a crazy thing to say. But so she asked him to kind of lock him up in his room up in the attic, and so he positions him in the fucking chair that I guess it's in the picture as well. Positions him in the chair facing the window.
Why? I don't know why that detail just freaks me out.
I know, like it's just like so
ominous, like so you can watch over us, Robert.
I mean, imagine like going up to the attic to like it's kind of like that. The poster for Annabelle, like the doll and the seat, the chair and stuff. So it's kind of like that. And a lot of people who pass by kind of see the doll, kind of see it disappear and sometimes appear in another window or something like that. Oh my
god, okay.
So like a lot of people at that point just refuse to kind of go anywhere near that house. And like people who have to go there, like for example, there was like a plumber or service people, they would hear like a child's giggling and footsteps from the attic, even though it's locked up and no one's in there. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the end of the story. So Jean dies and a woman buys the house, which is now known as the artist's house. And with it, she also got Robert. I know, it's like, and she kept that fucking doll for 20 years, by the way.
She loved it.
Yeah, I think it's like people just have like a natural attraction to it eventually, because you know it's fucking haunted probably. But so she kept that doll, and she eventually donated it to a museum, which was
it the Warrens Museum?
No. Let me. What was it? Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Fort East Martello Museum.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's like a pretty small museum based in the picture as well. But she donated it, and then the only thing she said that it was fucking haunted. And they were like, this woman's batshit insane, but this doll looks pretty old, so we'll take it anyway. So for some strange reason though, like once she donated the doll, it kind of was pretty infamous at that point as a haunted doll. So people started fucking
they started fucking?
Yeah, they started fucking. No, they started fucking going to the museum and like asking about it and wanting to see it and stuff. So the museum curators were just okay, we'll just put it on display. Okay, so like now it's just displayed there. I think it's still there.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it looks like that. It's just like, it's just one of the things that I really found interesting about this story though was that people were so engrossed by the idea of a haunted doll. Like it's even on display, and people go to the museum just to see it, and people actually write letters to it. And the curator,
it's like those girls that are like in love with Charles Manson or something. They're like, dear Robert, my heart yearns for you.
It's like there was like a sample of a letter. It was like, I went there and then I lost my wallet and now I'm a believer, stuff like that. It's just really, really obscure and dumb.
Weird.
But yeah, people started writing letters to it, and the caretaker of Robert would read Robert the letters. And people would leave like offerings to Robert, like
oh my
candy.
God, they're straight up worshiping Robert.
Yeah, it's like that's probably the weirdest part about the story, like how people react to the doll itself. Not like, because like you could totally say that all this all these stories are fake and
yeah,
like that doesn't really happen. But like it's just weird to me that people are so like drawn to it.
yeah. Whether or not it is haunted, it's weird how people react to
like
the idea of a haunted
they leave
item.
They leave it candy and letters, and there were on some occasions people left him a joint.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the
maybe
curator,
Robert chilled out after that.
Yeah, that's all Robert wanted, really. Just
Yeah.
a little, have a good time.
Yeah, he just wanted to have a good time.
He even has like a social media account.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the caretaker is very like involved. Like reading letters to Robert and.
Did you look at it? What's on it?
I looked at it's actually a Twitter, and I looked at it, and it wasn't actually that interesting.
Oh, just like you can see Robert.
Yeah,
here.
it was more like advertisements and stuff. I was hoping it would be like as if he were actually the one typing it. That would have been pretty
like,
fucking creepy.
Just added another tooth to my collection. See you children later, XO Robert.
Yeah,
they should hire me.
That would have been way more interesting. Also, I saw that it's been inactive since 2018.
Aw.
So I feel like they probably changed whoever is taking care of Robert because they're not as woke,
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool though. That's so
yeah.
And what's weird to me is that we always talk about things as saying that it's true, even though
I assume that it is
just assuming
actually
it's true.
haunted.
Well, like the thing is, why would Eugene be so obsessed with Robert, and then why would Robert be so mean to him? Like, well, I guess there are spirits like from what I've listened to and other podcasts and just research and stuff. It's like spirits get a lot of energy off of people, and especially like younger people. But it's mostly teenagers because they're all really moody.
They're
no offense
moody.
If you're a teenager, just I was too.
I was a fucking moody teenager.
Yeah.
I would sit alone and just fucking like write emo songs and play music on guitar. And,
Yeah, exactly. And ghosts love that energy.
Definitely.
But like I just don't. It's so weird that like the ghost was so mean to to Eugene when Eugene was so cool to him.
I know. Oh, by the way, his name was Robert Eugene, so he named a doll after himself as well.
Oh,
which is kind of weird. That's why he started going by Gene, because he was like,
gave the doll
his name and his clothes.
Oh my god!
That's why it's like reading about it's just so unnatural how people are like so into this doll, like.
Yeah, and like that's a weird thing for a kid to do. I never named another doll after myself.
Yeah, like, you would name it like after people you know,
or like a name I like,
or a name you like. But you don't give your name to a doll and then name yourself something else.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah, so it was just a really freaky story, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So obviously this doll kind of sparked a lot of like ideas for like haunted doll movies and like Child's Play and Annabelle and that kind of stuff.
I think Annabelle is also an actual doll too.
Yeah, it was actually a Raggedy Ann though.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I actually do remember this story now that you gave me details, and I believe I remember the wife finally had it because like at night. Now, this could all just be bullshit and my just perverted memory. But, like, when they were trying to have sex, I think the doll would move and stuff. And
I didn't even see anything about that.
And so she was like, finally, she was like, yo, I'm not gonna, you're not gonna get any of this if you don't put that doll away.
Yeah, put the doll away.
And Eugene's, like, need for hot action was was more than his need to be loved by Robert.
Yeah.
Ugh. That could have all be bullshit, but...
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I never really read about it, but that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, but, like, he would have the doll, like, in the room with him, while they were sleeping. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I would just be really freaked out by that, because he was, like, probably in his, like, 50s or 40s by then, and...
Imagine if this were set in modern time and you met Eugene on Tinder.
Dude, if this was set in modern time, I'm 100% sure he's either a pedophile or a serial killer.
Yeah. Robert, we will have such great times. Okay, before I get into any of this, I do want to put a disclaimer out there. Well, first of all, let me just say, Zach gives his summaries of what he's learned. I like to just read it because I'm not very eloquent with my words, so I like to just read what I've written. But I just want to put a disclaimer out there that this topic is highly disturbing and it is not fiction, it's reality. So if you are especially sensitive to violence, abuse, like physical abuse, what's the word? Allegations of sexual abuse, and etc. Yeah. It's not that hard. It's not that heavy on sexual abuse. Like it's more like, Anyways, but if you're sensitive to any of those sorts of things, then do not keep listening because this is, especially physical abuse, highly graphic. Okay.
Oh shit.
I'll just say that. Okay. The other day, I was watching my homegirl Ready to Glare, and she brought up this topic called Mckamey Manor.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay. So it is fucked. Okay, let me just read my. I wrote this myself, except for parts of it, which I will give credit to when I'm quoting.
I should probably give credit to people, but I never remember. I just skim
I write
through
it down
things.
as I'm doing it. But
next time.
Okay.
I'll give credit next
Zach's
time.
a dick this time, but he'll be better next time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. So, haunted houses have been around since the early 1900s, about the same time that trick-or-treating became a thing. It was Disney's Haunted Mansion in the 1960s that really catapulted haunted attractions into infamy. Have you ever been to any haunted houses?
I have been to one. It was in the Philippines. It was in an amusement park called Star City. I didn't want to go, but everyone was going.
Naturally.
And I didn't want to fucking look like a little bitch.
How old were you?
I was probably like early teens, so I wanted to like kind of fit in and shit. But it was like a fucking shit show though. It was so bad. Like,
it wasn't even scary.
Like I'm a coward. Anything,
you are.
Anything fucking scares me.
When we watched it, and he made me sleep on the outside of our bed so he could sleep against the wall for an entire month.
Yeah, because like if the clown was gonna get you first. But like so yeah, that didn't even scare me. It was just like a bunch of red lights and really crappy costumes. Like obviously store-bought costumes. Like you could buy these anywhere.
Okay, well, I went to the Universal Studios one a long time ago when I was like 13, and that was freaky. There was a whole room of Chucky the doll paraphernalia.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like on the ceiling, like everywhere. It was just everywhere, which freaked me out. And then there was this big, giant Chucky the doll. Like, it looked like there was a glass encasing, and it was a giant Chucky the doll. But there was no glass in it, and Chucky the doll jumps out of it and starts chasing you.
Child's Play was the first ever horror movie I ever saw. That's
really?
why. It's probably why I fucking hate dolls.
Like, I've never seen a scary movie with dolls, and they freak me out.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, after that tangent, what we're going to talk about is a little different. Mckamey Manor. Okay, so this is as per Wikipedia. Mckamey Manor is an American haunted attraction where survival horror events are performed, and a pioneer of the notion of extreme haunts. It was founded in San Diego by resident Russ Mckamey, and was originally located on his property. The house operates year-round, and the tour can last from 4 to 10 hours.
What the hell?
This is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. Guests must sign a liability waiver to participate.
Of course.
Since its opening, Mckamey Manor has attracted significant controversy, criticism, and media scrutiny for its use of simulated aggression, and I use simulated very loosely, and various forms of physical and psychological torture towards guests. So
yeah, like I was gonna say, like 4 to 10 hours. That's borderline torture.
No, that borderline is torture in itself.
Yeah. But
just listen. I'm gonna give an overview of how it operates now, and then the main controversies that they have, and then I dug.
Wait, it's still operational.
It's still
to this
operating.
Day. Holy.
I dug so deep into this. I was
way
journalist.
Down the rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. Yeah, just dug really deep. I found witnesses to. Okay. Anyway, the house permits just a handful of patrons to enter each weekend. Guests are not required to pay an entrance fee. Instead, Mackamey accepts payment only in dog food for his pets and local animal shelters. At the Tennessee location, those age 21 can get in, or 18 to 20 with parental consent. The Alabama, 2 locations. Alabama location is 21 and over. The tour can last from 4 to 8 hours, and no guest has made it all the way through.
Oh, so you can exit though.
Yes.
Okay.
But just wait. Despite previously not allowing safe words, Mckamey says that guests have the option to use one that ends the experience immediately. But we will see there are people that refute that he does immediately. The house, and in the contract it says that like before the safe words he would only let you quit when he deemed you psychologically or physically unfit to continue. So he could just keep going and going.
He's just like getting off on it, like.
I will show you videos later. He's okay. Anyway, I don't want to. I gotta keep it interesting. I can't give it all away. I can't give all my goods away at the beginning.
Gonna save that for later.
Yeah. Okay. The house operates year round, and there is a waiting list of over 24,000 people.
Why? People.
Yeah. I think that's bullshit, first of all. I think I will get into a little bit further what I think about Russ down the line, but I don't believe that there's a waiting list that high.
It could be like, to kind of...
I think it's hype.
Yeah, like an exclusivity thing. Like,
whoa. I don't think it's true.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so here are the controversies. Still via Wikipedia. During the tour, employees of the manor may physically assault patrons, hit them with vibrating toys, waterboard them, force them to eat and drink unknown substances, have them bound, gagged, or engage in other forms of physical and psychological torture.
So, it's not even a horror house.
No, it's a torture house. It's literally just to get tortured.
Yeah, it's like fucking going through like frat hazing all the time.
Yes, but willingly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess frat hazing is also willing, but like...
But yeah,
people are traveling all over the world to go and experience this.
So dumb.
I just wonder, like, what kind of person. Okay.
Okay.
One journalist, Tara West, mentions that in the communities where it occurs, the residents question how the attraction stays legal, even with a waiver. While there is a safe word, one participant, Laura Hertz Brotherton, who I will, like I said, I dug really deep in this, and I got from her own words. I watched her interview and stuff, which I'll go into later. Says that during her experience, she repeated the safe phrase for several minutes before employees finally stopped torturing her. She later went to the hospital for extensive injuries.
Oh, God.
Participants can also be drugged during their experience. One of the volunteer guides detailed that the 40-page waiver signed by participants lists all of the possible risks endured, including pulling out their own teeth, a chance of getting a tattoo, and getting fingernails pulled out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I said, very graphic.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
Probably like the most graphic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like
there was a okay, wait, actually I don't want to say that. I don't want to give anything away. I have more. Okay.
Woo!
According to an editorial by Jeff Heimbuch of Horror Buzz, the haunt community does not consider Mckamey Manor a part of traditional Halloween horror houses.
Yeah. Definitely. Who would?
I watched a lot of videos of other people, like local haunted houses, businessmen, and they all hate Russ Mckamey. They absolutely hate him, and they don't like what he's doing at all.
It's it goes against the spirit of haunted houses.
Yeah, no, like. Okay, I have so much to... I'm just going to get through this part first.
Okay.
So Mckamey Manor facility in Somerton, Tennessee has been the subject of numerous complaints in Lawrence County. County Commissioner Scott Franks wrote about an incident which deputies were called out to the property after a neighbor saw a woman dragged screaming from a van as part of the experience, saying, "Staged or not, this is simply something that none of us want anywhere near us." I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But District Attorney Brent Cooper, screw you, Brent, says that the program is legal because people are subjecting themselves to it voluntarily, though participants can withdraw their consent at any time according to Tennessee law. But, like, are they, though? Because I don't know. I just feel like you can't really fully grasp what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anyone can truly consent to that. You know what I mean?
Plus, I feel like a lot of people probably don't even read the entire thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, now he makes them sit down, and for like 2 hours, he'll sit down with you and read all of it. Mm-hmm. But still, like, yeah, how are you going to...
Sometimes I feel like some of them feel like that's just a scare tactic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, he's just freaking us out. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like people could really consent to that.
Yeah, like, because you...
And who in their right mind would?
Yeah, well, like, go in somewhere, like, they could get, you know...
Their tooth
mutilated or, like, yeah, assaulted.
Their head shaved. There was a woman who got her head shaved.
Okay.
So, I don't know about you, but my first thought, was first of all, like, who actually wants to be a part of this? Mm-hmm. But second of it is, like, what the fuck is wrong with Russ Mckamey?
Yeah.
Like, that's my...
Like, and the people employed.
Yes.
Like that's the worst
What is wrong with these people? But Russ is the one that started
he's like the mastermind. He runs everything. But the people who actually enact what he wants them to do is kind of...
he's a part of it, too. He goes around with them. But he does have volunteers. Although from my research that I've done, he doesn't have like practically anybody helping him anymore. It's pretty much just him now because people don't like him and people get freaked out by him and people like he's just But there are some people that are just as sick and twisted as Russ Mckamey that are involved in this. So anyways, I'm just gonna... Now, the rest of this is in my own words unless I specify otherwise. Okay. Russ Mckamey is a retired Navy SEAL who served for over 23 years and, according to him, learned the ways of torture while serving in the military. He started up his haunted torture event over 15 years ago in his backyard in San Diego, and according to my research, when it first began, it was not quite as intense as it has become now. It makes me think of like abusers who start off really nice and like fun, and then they eventually get worse and worse.
Or like serial killers, like that escalate as they practice.
Yeah, like it's not enough to just scare people anymore. You have to hurt them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will say this so many times. There's going to be a lot of alleged in this, in some of these parts. Okay. Over time, with controversy and complaints, he closed down in San Diego and moved his show to Tennessee, and has since expanded to Alabama. Despite having 2 different locations, all the controversy, as was listed above, only requiring a bag of dog food for entrance, Russ states he only receives $800 a month from his pension and has no other forms of income. Although he does live in a disgusting trailer, having 2 locations, as well as, according to Russ himself, spending thousands of dollars constantly updating his event, the numbers are not adding up.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it at all. Like,
and he used to have a $20,000 reward for if you could finish, but now he's since rescinded that. So, the main theory of how Russ is able to continue this and fend for himself is that Russ is selling his most brutal torture sessions on the dark web.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Again, all alleged.
Alleged, yeah, but like... That... Because, yeah, either he's, like, doing something really shady, like dealing drugs or something like that, or, he's selling...
There's no way you're living off of $800 a month, dude.
Yeah, there's no way. Especially having 2 locations. Like... Housing, I assume.
And he only charges them a bag of dog food.
Yeah, and there's no way. If he had charged them like money, I would understand. Like,
yeah, I could see him if he charged $1,000 per thing, or even $500
I wonder
or
if
$200.
He doesn't want them to pay just because he is gonna just.
I think he wants to look like a good guy. Like, look, it's all for fun. I'm just doing this for fun. So much so that I'm not even charging money for it. It's like that makes you look even more psychotic, homie.
Because there's no monetary. Like,
yeah, you can't just say, look, it's a business. Yeah. People want it, and I'm giving it what they want. No, you enjoy it. Yeah,
it's something mostly for your satisfaction, from what I gather.
Right? And you haven't even watched him, like, and you're already getting this vibe from him. Okay. He uploads torture sessions onto YouTube.
Oh, God.
But much of it is cut out, and no one really knows what happens in between the cut, except the victims themselves.
Okay.
For instance, there were 2 tough military brothers that can be seen in one video. Again, this is graphic. Bleeding and tied up. One brother is in and out of consciousness, and the other brother is crying out.
Holy.
The brother that was in and out of consciousness had vomited, and he was making them, he would like scoop it back up and make them eat it.
Oh my god.
He was like, he's gonna die, his other brother, and they finally, and they like slapped him, and once he kind of like came to, they made him keep going.
Oh wow.
Like they were military guys, like they were big buff, like burly guys. Not saying that if you're big and buff that means you're like emotionally but they were accustomed to being in like very high stress situations.
Yeah, and yet they were like
just crying, like sobbing.
Yeah, and understandably so. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's like, yeah, again, it's like a freaking real life horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. And like, nobody wants that once they're in it. Like, nobody, and the government should be able, I'm not, I like the government, taking a step back from not completely controlling our lives.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty you can't torture people.
There are some things that are pretty cut and dry.
Just like you can't eat people, even though some people have a fetish for it and they want to be eaten. Yeah. You cannot legally eat people. Yeah, exactly. Spoiler for any, cannibals that are listening. Mm-hmm. But, okay, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, and like I said, so if you do want to watch these videos on YouTube, they're highly disturbing. Highly disturbing, so please keep that in mind if you go seek that out.
I would advise not to. If
I barely watched much of it. I could not watch much of it. It like hurt my soul. Yeah. Okay, so an article by Morgan Cook from the San Diego Tribune, because remember originally in San Diego, gives a little more credence to this theory when a woman who claimed she was horribly abused and tortured spoke out in 2015. This is from that article. Amy Milligan said her experience was traumatic. She said she gave the haunt a positive review in her exit interview, because remember he films the whole thing, because she wanted the haunt to produce a video of her tour so she could have evidence of what happened to her. The video, which the haunt produced and posted on YouTube, shows Milligan being pushed to the ground, pulled by her hair, and slapped while being picked up and driven in a van to Mckamey's house. Shortly after they arrive in the home, the screen goes blank and the subtitle appears saying, "I cannot show you what takes place." When the footage resumes, Milligan is lying in a freezer and a few inches of cold, dark water, blindfolded while actors pour water over her head. Milligan appears cooperative and willing to play her part in the experience. Early in the experience, she appeared slightly defiant and even amused, then more concerned as the tour intensifies. Later in the video, another section of footage is edited out. When the action resumes, Milligan is soaking wet and seems terrified. Milligan said the video was edited to hide the worst parts. She said the video doesn't show the part where she was forced to lie down, her hands bound, in a shallow pool of water with a cage over it. The actors repeatedly pushed her head underwater, her long hair wrapping around her neck as she begged them to let her go home, she said. "I'm going to die here," Milligan said. "I'm going to drown. My hair is wrapping around my neck and I start freaking out. I'm telling them I can't breathe and they're just laughing and doing it more." Mckamey would not confirm the existence of the cage, but he said there's a lot of water involved in the haunt and people will feel like they are drowning, which is true. He dunks people in water and he makes them hold their breath. He pours water on them a lot in his...
I feel like that's... Like
it's to disorient you and scare and to make... Well, he's like, we do not waterboard. That is waterboarding, dickwad.
Yeah. It's weird because like you see that in like a lot of military and spy movies when they're interrogating people and stuff.
Yeah. And he's doing that. He's like, we do not even kind of waterboard. That is kind of waterboarding.
Yeah. I mean, it's beyond kind of. So.
And he said, it's psychological what we're doing. They're safe all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. That's the end of that. I'm back to my... Sorry. YouTubers Dan Truelove and some guy 827 who knew Russ personally have come forward to allege a lot of really fucked up shit about this character. So like I said, just to explain this, I know more about the Dan Truelove than the some guy 827. But Dan, I know he was really intrigued by this. He was like, "There's no way this can be, as the way they're portraying it." He started looking into it. He joined a Facebook community, got really into the community itself, and got to know Russ. And then to the point where Russ made him a moderator. And he knew...
Wow.
Yeah, so like he
got in deep.
Yeah, he got in deep. He has a lot of information. He knows the people that are working in this business, and he knows Russ personally, okay?
Whoa, okay.
So that's the thing. He also says... actually, I'll talk about that later. Okay. So, like I said, for legal reasons, I'm going to continue to state that this is a legend. Alleged. This is a legend.
Kind of makes... Yeah.
All right. So back to Lori Brotherton. Or Brotherton? I don't know.
I'm bad at names.
So she describes her ordeal on Dan Truelove's channel, that she went through insanely horrific ordeals, including being forced to drink her own pee.
Oh, God.
Being beaten so badly she couldn't eat or drink for several days without a straw. A fractured foot. And psychological torture. She says that Russ is a master manipulator, even going so far to say, if you don't like potatoes, he will talk you into believing that you like potatoes. He is the devil himself. And she alleges that the sheriff in the community seems to be in cahoots with Mckamey,
I bet.
And actively seems to try to dissuade victims from speaking out and kind of brushes them off to the side. I've never been to this area. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is what she said. Shockingly, his exes allege that he's abusive, manipulative, and obsessive.
Wow. No one would have ever guessed.
Yeah. I'm just giving, like, people's descriptions of this person.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. His most recent girlfriend, who's now his ex, her name is Holly. She chillingly stated in her interview, also with Dan, it was like I was living in a horror show for 3 years.
Oh,
it was like imagine, all of that shit that you're watching him do, and then it's like
he comes home and you're like yeah. I would be afraid to piss him off even the slightest. Like
he genuinely terrifies me. Anyway, she alleges that Mckamey would purposefully not keep food around to starve her and mess with her head. He would provide no form of transportation for her, so sometimes in desperation she would try and walk or hitchhike into town to buy food. Because this is in Tennessee, it's like the countryside.
Yes, it's kind of hard to get around unless you do have a car or any form of transportation. Yeah,
and he wouldn't even eat, apparently. It's like, he's just weird. He also apparently threw her against the wall. In possibly the most disturbing experience, trigger warning if you do not like animal violence. She recounts one year when it was her birthday, one of their many dogs was dying, so Holly was lying next to him to comfort the old dog. She asserted that the place was disgusting and that she often had to sleep on the floor, so she was like lying next to this dog on the floor. And I watched an interview of Russ, and it was really weird. The interviewer was sitting on the ground in his trailer, and so like Russ was standing, and it's like he really did not have any furniture in his house, and his house was really gross.
Like, okay, like I feel so bad for anyone involved with this person, but like, how do you walk in there and see that and still kind of
I'd be like, nope.
Yeah, like just, oh my god. And knowing what he does on like during his spare time.
Well, I'll just say, I personally believe that Russ is a psychopath. A sociopath at the very least. I could not get any information about his childhood or anything. Yeah. But I think he's a psychopath. I think he's cunning and manipulative, and he makes things seem normal. If you watch videos, he's like very friendly and like lighthearted while he's torturing you, and he makes people feel like I should feel happy too. Like, he's very manipulative.
I see.
But anyway, so
man, okay.
He has a bunch of dogs. One of them's dying. I think it had cancer or something like that.
Aww.
Yeah, that was sad.
Poor dog.
So she's lying next to this dog, right? And then he said something along the lines of, let's go, it'd be great if we put the dog down today because it would make your birthday one that you'll never forget.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So she goes along with this, and they get to the veterinarian's hospital, and after the dog had been administered the euthanasia, Holly is...
Okay, I was kind of expecting it to not go that way. I thought they wouldn't even do it at like a vet.
No, it's somehow... Okay, just wait. Okay. They're at the hospital. The dog has been given the euthanasia. It's passing on. Holly is very upset, clearly. Obviously. She's crying. He tells her to pick the dog up and hold it and look up at him. He had brought a camera with him, and he wanted to take pictures of her crying while holding this dead dog.
Okay.
Like...
Yeah. Why?
I think he has a sexual sadism, like a sexual sort. This is my opinion, and all like this is all my opinion, all speculation. But I think that he has a sexual thrill of seeing people in pain.
Yeah, like
and
suffering.
Psychologically fucked up.
Yeah, that's why like at the beginning I was like he's getting off.
Lots of people say that, and he'll constantly mention, I don't get off on this. It's like, yeah, dude, you can say that all you want, but no one's believing you, bro.
Yeah. Oof.
Like, I could not, even if I was being paid tons of money, I could not, like, let's just say no one's tooth got pulled out. I could not beat the shit out of people. I could not pretend to drown them. I could not do any of that.
Yeah.
I could not, no matter how much money you gave me.
Exactly. That's just...
So...
Like...
Clearly, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And he's very manipulative. He tries very hard to play it off like, it's no big deal. I'm an entertainer. This is entertaining. Anyway, so yeah, that for some reason really got me fucked up. Like, just the idea of, like, this woman holding a dog crying and he's like, taking pictures of it.
Pain, yeah.
So he can, like, look at it for, later.
Oh,
and
Jesus
on her birthday.
Christ.
So...
Oh, man. Yeah, and on her birthday, too. What the hell?
Yeah. So, while we're on the topic of...
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Traumatize you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is... Probably is not funny, and it probably won't have many jokes in it.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really fascinating.
It's a really interesting story.
And I could have gone even more into it, but anyway. So, while we're on the topic of dogs, it was also asserted that the dog food that was being donated was rarely actually given to shelters, and it would just be left there to rot, like in his house, and he would make the guests eat it. Like, they remember how they had to eat like foreign stuff. They were making them eat their own dog food that they were bringing. So
yeah, because I don't believe this man can actually.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'd bring some of it, but I could definitely see him feeding dog food to people too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you think it can't get any worse, Zach?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, the first few things you told me already, I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, seriously, like, I can't believe a person like this actually exists in real life.
It is insane. Well, guess what, buddy? It gets
You're in
worse.
for a ride, buddy. Okay.
I think Karen from My Favorite Murder, she's like, it gets so much worse. And that is, yes.
Yeah.
True. Well, no, it does get so much worse. Okay.
I bet.
So, like I said, I just talked about Holly, but both Holly and another ex, her name is Carol, they both allege that Russ is also a pedophile.
Not surprised again.
So, Holly says...
What crime hasn't he committed, really, at this point?
I know. No one said... No. Well, there was alleged of sexual assault at one point, but I couldn't find much information about that. So we don't have that, and we don't have any instances of murder that we know.
That we know.
We got,
Okay.
But, so Holly says that Russ's sons do not talk to Russ at all. They have no contact with him.
I can't believe he even has children.
And she also alleges that she has seen suggestive photos of his sons when they were younger on an SD card. Yeah. She says that despite how abusive and vile he was, she stayed with him a lot longer than she wanted to because she was fearful for the local children. She asserted that he would go to, like, supermarkets and public places and, like, creepily stare at kids.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And this is all alleged. I personally didn't see any indicators that he would be. But
this is someone who was actually
someone
involved.
that wants to pull people's teeth out. I would like really what is also being a pedophile?
People, yeah, like to them that's nothing.
Yeah. And she said like she is significantly younger than him. He's like in his 60s. She looks like she's in her maybe mid to late 30s.
I mean,
maybe
he obviously
40s.
has a power thing, like.
Oh well, yeah, he's definitely power tripping.
Yeah.
Well, and so like she said that he seemed to be attracted to her because she was very like free spirited and childlike,
innocent,
kind of innocent like. So that's what she said.
Okay.
That's what she said. I'm sorry.
Oh,
okay.
Oh my god.
I will say though, Holly did participate in all of this. She didn't beat anyone, but she would follow people around and she knew what was happening. So keep that in mind. I personally do believe, like, she's not spotless in all of this.
No.
Just what I'm saying is, like,
No.
I'm trying to be fair here, but I still believe her in what she's saying. Okay. So the reason why I really would want to believe her is because Carol, who also was sort of involved, like, she was apparently a lawyer, so she helped him write up his liability thing.
Okay.
Waivers. But she also backs up that Russ is a pedophile.
Yeah, that's two people.
Yeah, exactly.
Who were romantically involved with him, so
yeah,
there's a huge chance that's actually true.
She even said that I didn't, just because there's so much information. I didn't like listen to all of it, but she did say that she and some people basically set up a little sting operation where they pretended to be a 14-year-old girl and talked to Russ on the web and set up a meetup, and he went to it. But like they didn't like actually go to him, and she said that she has forwarded that information over to the police, but we don't have any more information about that. So cannot stress enough, this is all alleged.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would be worth mentioning. I don't really feel bad putting it out there because, again, this guy gets off on torturing people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
So, yeah. Like I said, aside from the allegations and even the horror show itself, to me, it's his mannerisms and his vibe that I just can't describe that give him away as what I could only assume is a psychopath. He will consistently keep a smile on his face while not only talking about the manner, but going through with the torture. He's like laughing, he's smiling, he's clearly
it's like
enjoying
he's having
it.
a good time.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Oh my god.
He seems to act very friendly to get on people's good sides, and then will use information he gets from them to exploit later on. So some slightly perhaps good news about all of this is that recently Russ Mckamey has said on his Instagram that
this fucker has an Instagram?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, that alone does also strengthen the pedophile allegations. But he has, like I said, he's taking away the $20,000 reward because he needs to start up the Tennessee Mckamey Manor in a different area because it's getting shut down in that area. And he tried to make it seem like, well, the guy he doesn't want us on the property anymore. He's selling the property. Like, he's trying to make it very nonchalant. But I think he's getting a lot of pushback from the community.
Yeah, I think he's probably... Yeah, it's getting a lot harder to kind of operate, probably.
So I'm hoping that he can't... Like, I'm hoping that this is, like, the start of his downfall.
The end of it, yeah.
Yes.
Like, once he can't operate like that, though, what would his next move be? Like, as a person who is obsessed with torture and...
I know, it's so weird. Like, the thing about this is, it's like a psychopath. Mostly they will hide this way, and in a way he is hiding it. He clearly has a facade on, but he's also like just blatantly
he's
putting it out there, like, hey, I torture people, and he
for fun.
Yeah, well, and he called himself an entertainer and a comedian.
Oh, dude, don't fucking
yeah. It's gross.
Jesus,
but. Yeah, it's just interesting to me. It's like Onision, who's I don't know if he could be considered a sociopath, but he's clearly has narcissistic personality disorder.
Obviously.
And I'm not a psychologist. I can't say that, but I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
And he also, it's like, he just puts it out there for everyone to see, and it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
And you keep like, if you go on YouTube, you can find all this kind of stuff. If you go on to Dan Truelove's, he's got a lot of stuff. It's not the best quality audio-wise, but information-wise, very interesting. And you can also listen people who know about Russ because they're in the business themselves. They say he's also a fraud because sometimes all he'll do is have people blindfolded, make them do like obstacle courses in his front yard and tire them out until they quit, and he'll never do anything. Like, that's it. So like sometimes he tortures people horrifically, and sometimes he's like just yanking.
I wonder if he
chain.
chooses people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Based on who, like, their background or.
I don't know, but like,
so
that. He's not only is he a psycho, he's also a fraud.
Yeah.
But
and a pedophile at that.
Well, we don't know that one for sure. But you know, anyways, but I'll just say, more and more victims are coming forward and telling their story, like the brave survivors they are. And like I said, you can find a lot of that on YouTube. More and more former friends and fans of Russ are spilling his secrets and unraveling his disgusting web he's been weaving for over a decade. And yeah, and if and when Russ has been his business has been destroyed, I will definitely give an update on it. But that is Mckamey Manor.
Holy shit!
I'll probably have to like whittle that down or something. It's so long, but
I think that's good. I think having all information is good because like it really paints a picture of who this guy is. Like,
I just tried to give him, because you can look up YouTube videos, but they're not as, I really tried to dig into not just what he's doing, but like what people that know him are saying about him. Like, I never saw anyone saying anything good about him. The only time I would see some people defending him were people that had recently gone on his tour and they looked fucked. They looked psychologically fucked up. Like, one girl had her head shaved and she's like, yeah, I had to shave my head because he was pulling on my hair and haha. Like, she was like, it's fine though. And you're like, girl, you're not okay. Like, you are not okay.
Like, they're just like mentally broken.
Yeah, exactly. No one that is in a healthy state of mind has anything good to say about this man. I think that in itself, says a lot.
That definitely says a lot. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, and this guy's still out there too.
Yeah, he's still operating.
Hopefully, like, I hope that he doesn't start a new one though, because.
Well, he has two. One is still up.
Oh.
But.
Oh man.
I don't know, like, how is it he able to have two? Yeah,
how is it legally okay to have that too? Just like,
how's he able to fund it? How is this still able to happen?
It's like amusement parks, for example, they have to undergo like strict
so
regulations.
Much liability issues there.
Yeah,
and this guy is able to pull people's teeth out and get away with it. Are you kidding me?
No way.
Someone fucking trips and scuffs their shoe in Disneyland, and they've got like 3 mansions.
Yeah, but, like the whole McDonald's incident with the hot coffee, and boom, millionaire.
You get fat off of McDonald's, bada bing, bada boom, you're a millionaire.
Yeah, and like this guy just gets away with so much.
I know, that's what is only in America, guys. Anyways, so if you liked that one was really dark, but and not usually will it be that dark. But if you did like it, make sure to like this. When we do have it on iTunes, please give us a good review on iTunes, because that will really help us.
That would really help. Maybe.
We'll keep getting better, I promise.
I think this episode went a lot smoother.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I feel like it did.
And
it could just be the alcohol talking.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But also, if you want to become a patron, we always will upload everything at least a couple days earlier on Patreon. It's just patreon.com/plamondoncomics. And one more thing, please, if you have a freaky story about from your hometown, your own personal story, someone that you know has a creepy story, just like a personal one, please send it into our email. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to read about that. Our email is blameitonthecider@gmail.com. Yeah. Blame it on the cider. No spaces, no capitals. Hey guys, it's post Plamondon talking, and I realized that I forgot to shout out my Culto patrons like a douchebag, so I'm here to do that right now because they are amazing and they deserve a shout out. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Emma F, Hector B, Lon Vo, Michael Hawk, Monica, and Sebastian. And once again, Sebastian is the one who made our music, so that is pretty badass. All of our patrons are badass, but yeah, we thank you so much for your contribution. You are amazing. Thanks again, and see you next time.